Hey YouTubers, welcome back. So today we're just starting where we left off. We're going to be doing a little bit of scripting on our buttons so we can start moving forward to new scenes, creating some new scenes and learning how to get version controls. So if you make some mistakes you can roll back to the last version that you saved. So all good stuff, and yeah, let's get started. So right now we've just got our scene set up as we left it, and we're just going to add a new script which lets us talk to the Unity scene manager and tell it that we want to load a new scene and to swap it out and change it with a new scene. So to do that we actually need to write a script. So we're going to add a new component and new script, and because you're going to wind up getting hundreds of scripts in your project, it's really wise to name your scripts very wisely. So name it, what it's going to do, and a few hints. The less you have to remember the better, because projects get very complex very quickly. So I'm just going to call it load scene named, and that's just a little hint for me that I need to provide a name. And we'll just go create and add. And from there we can edit the script. So here we're going to connect to a framework, and this is going to be the scene management, and that just means we can get hold of some of the functions that have already been written for us. So otherwise this piece of code won't work. And here we're just creating ourselves our own little function, and it's going to be loading a scene with name. And if we look at the documentation of how the scene management actually works, it has a built-in function already. So you can find a new scene by either giving it a name or giving it a number, which I wouldn't recommend. I find that harder. You have to then remember which number your scene is. Or it has another functionality for loading another scene on top of an existing one. So for instance, like a HUD layer. But I can show you the build index as well, so you know what I mean by that. So we'll just we'll finish this, and I'll show you now. So if we open the build settings, and we'll add our open scene. We can get rid of those ones. Just hit delete on those, and you see here the build index for this scene is 0, and it should always be 0 for your first scene. And then as we create other scenes, we will add them in here. So I'll show you later what we're doing with that. So for now, we'll just close that and just go back to our documentation there. Also, you can look up scene and how that's working. It's good to look at the documentation. It gives you some idea of, what you're looking for. So in this case, we're going to be using load scene with name, and basically our little function is like a machine that we send a name to the scene management, and the scene management will find it and then load it. So if you think of that way, hopefully it makes it a little bit easier. So to do that, we're giving it a string, and we'll just call it scene name. Oops, if I spell it rightly. Okay, so we're giving the scene manager, and we're asking it to load a scene with our scene name. And just Control S so we'll save. So now to get the script to talk to the button, we just need to connect the button. And that there is very easy. The buttons come with a preset function. It's called onClick, and we're just going to add a new one. And because the script's attached to the canvas object here, we're just going to grab that object and, of course it's going to be that, grab that object and drag it into the box, and we can look for the function we just made. So load scene named, and then we're going to give it a name. We haven't made any new scenes, but we'll just make one now. So I'm just going to call this page 1 and hit return. And here we're going to just duplicate some scenes off. That's actually faster than doing lots of copy and pasting. So let's quickly bash out some new scenes. So that's page 1. We can easily swap all the artwork out. It's got a great benefit that all the camera and aspect ratio are set up for us. So it's really a nice time saver. And I really love the fact that they've added this feature to it, like auto naming. It's like so nice, so fast. And just to make it a little bit easier to see, let's change the artwork here for this one. So we're in page 1 now, and we just look for the artwork, change it over, apply, and find the canvas, find our image. Should actually name that properly, so we'll call it a background. And get there. Oh, there we are. So tidy that up a little bit. Load scene named. Didn't quite go as planned. It should have all been there for me. And add a new onClick function. Grab that. Load scene named. Scene with name. Need some coffee. And the scene again. Save. Just copy what we did before. So go to page 2 artwork. Convert that over. Apply. If you don't hit apply, it's not going to be happy. And swap the artwork over. Delete. Put our script on there. The function on our button. Grab our canvas. Load scene named. And we're going to go to main. Great. So we're going to put the little bear's head on here later. He looks a little bit weird at the moment. So we can test that out now by pushing the play button, and that should all work. So this is the main scene, and page 1 can't be found. Oh, that's right, stop. We haven't added it to the build settings. So we'll just go back to our build settings. We have to firstly go to the scene, page 1, save. And build settings, and we just add the current open scene, which is page 1, and we'll do the same with page 2, add current open scenes, and that's all good. Okay, so this is actually a good place to, I'll just save this first, give a little run through, check it's all working. Great, so here's actually a great place to do a little bit of version control, and that's super easy in Unity. Version control just means you've got basically like a save point where you've got everything that you like and you can just save it there, and if you mess it up later you can come back to that point. So on that we just need to enable collab and get started. And here I would just write this basic scene setup with buttons and navigation. And that means that I've got a little note, I know what's there. And that will save all my files, scripts, whatever artwork was in there. And this feature also lets you work with other people. You can invite other people to work on your project, and it can track what everyone's working on and who did what. It's incredible that it's free. Unity just blows me away. So anyway, got that there, and what's the time? How much time have we got? Cool, well I think that's probably a good place to leave it, so we can come back and do some animation and like start adding some characters and making this book a little bit more fun. So if you had any questions or I skipped over something too quickly, please just write to me in the comments, and also please like or subscribe to the channel so I can make more of these videos. So yeah, anyway, have a great day and chat soon.